Yo, we out here, Buff Missionary, back in these streets, these Dominican streets. And we just got back from a pretty cool opportunity to do some mission service here. It's one I wasn't expecting, and I didn't even know that it was, yeah, literally didn't expect it because I didn't know that it was something we were considering doing. Basically, short story, we had an option of two different activities to do this afternoon. One would have been a hike, which I think would have been cool, and the other one was a quote unquote mission opportunity. A lot of what had been thrown around before was along the lines of like doing some yard work or helping somebody like that, which would have been cool. But the opportunity we actually got to go on today was to go visit a nursing home. And I can't tell you the last time that I've been to a nursing home. Um, Definitely, I want to say not since I graduated high school. Essentially, I don't think well, wait, no, that's not the same. So in terms of an actual nursing home, I want to say when I was still growing up in Virginia, we used to do that pretty consistently. And out in Palau, we did go to the hospital, which is kind of similar, but it's not exactly the same. But anyways, it's been a good minute because even Palau, I haven't been there since 2019 on the regular. So it was really cool. And I don't know, it's just interesting going into situations like that because you never know the types of people you're going to meet. You never know how um, the things that they're struggling with may impact you and how you're going to respond. So we go in, and it was probably, I have to say this from the jump, it was probably the coolest nursing home experience I've ever had. Just from top to bottom, you see, man, how do I paint this picture? You had people in there who were obviously, um, the way that the main nurse described it was that these people were abandoned by their families. And the reason that phrasing like hits so deep is because there were a lot of family members in there together. Like there were two sisters, there was a pair of sisters there. There was a mother and a daughter who were there. There was like another like a brother and a sister and another mother. Like you had all of these connections of people that you think about it. One person in the family has a certain number of connections, but when you add another family member in, the number of family members connected to those people now exponentially grows. So to have three people from the same family there, and yet the three of them have been abandoned, that's mind blowing to me. And obviously you had people in there who were just by themselves, so to speak. You had people who we were told a story about somebody who had been literally abandoned by their family, sleeping out in the streets for years, and they were able to bring her in. And it's like, man, it's hard to deal with, man. And I think the contrast of what made it hit so much deeper is, this a lot of times when it comes to nursing homes about people. You know this, but you don't always get the kind of response that you did from these people, like the gratitude that they expressed with us. We went there to sing and minister to them, but they were singing and ministering to us. There were a bunch of us in tears, several people getting really emotional and just expressing gratitude from our end to theirs, to the nurses and the doctors there about the awesome things that they're doing and giving these people a family and a home. Um, we had a moment where after the singing, which was awesome, we ended up dividing up, and each one of us gymnics was paired up. We ended up finding someone to talk to, one of the residents there, and I ended up meeting this guy named Juan. You'll see him in the vlog. Dude, man, this guy, 96 years old. And the other thing to consider is most of the people spoke primarily Spanish. Juan spoke a little bit of English, but I was doing more Spanish than anything else in our conversation. And he wasn't the easiest to hear, um, but it was just really cool to connect with him like that. We went back and forth like, "How old are you?" "Well, how old are you?" Like, man, talking about the experience of kind of being there and how happy he was. Those are the words he told me in English. He's like, "I'm happy you're here." And it was just like, dang, man, that's freaking legit. That's freaking legit. And, I'm trying my best to keep up in Spanish, just a little random conversation. And I was holding his hand there the whole time. Like, man, we kind of joked about, hey, man, you're 60 years older than I am. That's crazy. That's almost 3 times my lifetime. In this moment, you talk about bridging this gap. And it's just like, man, I told him, I hope this is what I said. But I tried to say in Spanish, I hope that I have as many years as you do. Because it's like, it's a gift to, I think, be around that long. And he still seemed strong, even though he was just sitting there chilling. When we sang "We Are Soldiers" and he rang it out, like, it was cool to see, man, a cool thing to be a part of. And I guess I think about it, and well, on one hand, it never would have happened this way, and it also makes me realize I can do better on the other hand, because as far as my grandparents on my dad's side, they passed away when I was young, like essentially in high school for my grandma, and then probably earlier than that for my grandma. But and my granddad passed away 2010 in Palau. So, and he wasn't that old. He was like mid 70s, I think. So to think that, let's see, about 15 years, 14 years later, he still would have been younger than Juan, who I talked with today. But it's like, man, the guy that I talked to today, like, he could have been my grandfather, And I can't say that I've connected with a person who has that many years. Just in the brief moment that I had here today, I can't say that I've connected with somebody who has that many years, like I did with Juan today. And I don't know if, like, my own grandparents' situation has anything to do with that. It's tough because my dad's parents lived in the States. My mom's mom is still with us, and she's approaching 100, so it's amazing, but she's in Grenada. So getting down there, it's a little bit more challenging, but I can still reach out, and I need to do that a little bit more often. But yeah, man, it's such a blessing, an awesome experience to be able to share. And it's like you go on these things thinking you're gonna go out and you're gonna make the difference. And low key, that's kind of been my issue with the whole World Changers brand. But I think we're changing that, in the sense that saying, when you go out with the intention to do well, you're the one who's changed by the people that you interact with. And they're the ones who make you more insightful into your own experience and help you want to, as Coach Richie always says, do it again but better. And that's what I felt here today. And it's interesting thinking about that when I have things like what's going on with my family back home. I was texting my dad a little bit earlier about it. And when you have other personal things going on that really seem dumb, like, it's another story for another day. But it's like, being involved in the mission and doing what you can to give of yourself, that's the win. That's the win. That's what makes life worth living. That's what makes the experience valuable, is the willingness to serve, not because of all the differences you think you'll make, but because of the people that you'll meet who will change your life along the experience. And with Juan, at least for me, that happened today. And with a lot of the other gymnics, with whoever they talked with, I'm sure they had the same experience. Like, a lot of them were on tears halfway, like on the bus, half of the ride home, So we feel that. And it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see. But yeah, the day's not done yet. So you'll see how the day ends in the vlog. But for now, we're going to try to get away from these mosquitoes, get dressed up, because we got a performance to get to. So I'll catch you. Peace.